when Pakistan, new opportunities emerging, and we now have strategic space. So that is the first thing. The second thing I had mentioned was that in the changing geopolitical landscape of South Asia, and this has also been referred to by Ambassador Azaz, China today is an integral part of South Asia. We should treat China as a South Asian power, part of our region. In any case, it is already geographically, but also geopolitically. So I think, and geoeconomically. So that is another very key element. Welcome, Senator, Member of Parliament, Sir Kamran Saiba. अच्छा, मैंने अभी शुरू किया है, आप ही का इंतजार हो रहा था. Thank you. So that is the second element of the role of China. I think that is very important. And the third element I had mentioned was what I call the Trump factor. Because the Trump factor has to be understood. I said we have to have a look that President Trump's policy is not necessarily the policy of the American system or the American security establishment. In fact, I think he is the first American president after John F. Kennedy who is not a representative of the deep state of America or the American traditional security establishment, which has been manifested through the military-industrial complex. Hence, a lot of his approaches and policies are different, and Pakistan is one example of that because he has deprioritized regional strategic relationships, including with India, including with Japan, including with Australia, and he's reaching out. He looks at the world like the big three, US, China, and Russia. And when we see the situation after the conference that you held on 31st of July, there have been some significant changes, but only one thing is consistent. There is no let-up in Indian hostility towards Pakistan. And I think a very sad manifestation of that was yesterday at the cricket match, that where the ideological proclivities and the political animus of the Indian establishment and the ruling RSS, which is ideologically a fascist and a racist party, that was manifested in even not maintaining common courtesies and extending that, which is, cricket was always supposed to be a gentleman's game, gentlemen. And they say it's not cricket, but that, I think they violated the basic tenet of the game they were playing. So I think that needs to be understood, that the mindset in Delhi under the current regime of the RSS, which incidentally is commemorating its 100th anniversary. It was founded in 1925, inspired by Mussolini's fascism. And even, you know, if you see their so-called volunteers, they wear the khaki knickers with a white shirt, and their salute is a variation of later on what emerges Heil Hitler, because it's like this. Heil Hitler was like that. So, you know, the mindset is the same, and it's based on hatred for the other, hatred for the Muslims especially. They also are like Israel. They are ideological first cousins of Netanyahu, who believes in greater Israel. And Zionism and Hindutva are two sides of the same coin. And India talks of Akhand Bharat, greater India. And now, under Mr. Modi, there is a map of Akhand Bharat in the Indian Parliament, which includes, Akhand Bharat, according to them, includes Pakistan, Afghanistan, Tajikistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, and Myanmar. So that is the worldview, at least. So, but we have seen some very positive, important developments which show that Pakistan is now emerging as a major player, not just in our region, but in the broader Muslim world. And I'd like to mention three major developments that are going to directly impinge on Pakistan and which are very important. The first one I would like to refer to is China. China's role in South Asia. Earlier, soon after our victory over India on 10th of May, on 14th of May, China had announced on 14th that the Chinese territory illegally occupied by India, which is called Arunachal Pradesh, which is the former Nifa, which in China had liberated in the 62 war when Nehru also suffered a similar defeat as Modi did this time. The Chinese returned their territory. Now they call it by the Chinese name Zhangnan. And they have renamed 52 locations in Arunachal Pradesh, which is Chinese territory illegally occupied by India, with Chinese names. They are roads, they are highways, they are mountains, they are ridges, they are rivers, and so forth. So that is number one. It is a disputed territory as far as China is concerned. And for China, this is a red line. The second important development for the region, which has a direct impact on Pakistan also, and I had hinted to that soon after this May incidents, because when Modi talked of taking out this Indus Waters Treaty and using water as a weapon, I had mentioned that we should not forget, look at the geography of South Asia. If we are the lower riparian of India, India is the lower riparian of China. And China has announced the world's biggest dam over Brahmaputra River, $167 billion worth. So this threat of water aggression from India has been abated, because they'll get them by the news there, up there. The third important development, which was announced last week, again from China, which is very relevant and which has not been talked about much in Pakistan, is the announcement of a major railway project linking Xinjiang with Tibet across Aksai Chin. And this is worth $55 billion. So this is the disputed territory, because if you remember, and I mentioned Aksai Chin because if you remember, on soon after India's annexation of occupied Kashmir on 5th August 2019, on 7th August 2019, Amit Shah, the former minister and henchman of Modi, and Rajnath Singh, the defense minister of India, had announced three things. They said our next target is one, Azad Kashmir, secondly, Gilgit-Baltistan, and the third one they mentioned is Aksai Chin. They said this is part of India. So China is now going to build a railway. Of course, the population is not a little bit sparse, but the railway can be a dual purpose thing, because I think in times of conflict, troop movements can be also facilitated, right in our north. So I think that we are strategically well covered. I call it the Chinese, not just railway, but air cover for the South Asian stability. And so China is now emerging as the de facto guarantor of peace, security, and stability in South Asia, a role which India will have to accept. And the first signs are already there, because India, after being ditched by the US for the time being, is now also looking to normalize with China. So that has been a very important factor. The second important factor is, of course, the Pakistan-Saudi Strategic Defense Agreement, on which my think tank has launched a report yesterday, which has been widely published. Also, it's the first think tank in Pakistan to come out with a comprehensive report, and if anybody needs it, I'll give you the web. And a job well done. Early, he had issued the National Security Report, which was an amazing document, and now with this report, I think you've set the ball rolling. This has become a flagship event, co-sponsored by Ambassador Johar Salim, and I think wish you good luck for the future. Thank you.